he was required to write for himself a copy of the law and to read in it all the days of his life. 17. 18, 19 He was, as Jehovah's special servant and representative, responsible to Jehovah. There were, said to relate, many Judean kings who broke through these restraints and ruled despotically and wickedly. 1 Sir 22. 12, 13, 17-19. 1 Kai 12. 12-16. 2 Ch 33. 9. Religious leader. Although the king was prevented by law from being a priest, he was supposed to be the chief non-priestly supporter of Jehovah's worship. At times the king blessed the nation in Jehovah's name and represented the people in prayer. 2 Sir 6. 18. 1 Kai 8. 14, 22, 54, 55 Besides being responsible for safeguarding the religious life of the people from idolatrous intrusions, he had the authority to dismiss an unfaithful high priest, as King Solomon did when High Priest Tabitha supported Adonijah's seditious attempt to take the throne. 1 Kai 1. 7. 2. 27. Wives and property. The marriage and family customs of the Judean kings included the practice of having a plurality of wives and concubines, although the law stipulated that the king was not to multiply wives to himself. 17. 17 The concubines were considered to be crown property and were passed on to the successor to the throne along with the rights and property of the king. To marry or take possession of one of the deceased king's concubines was tantamount to publishing a claim to the throne. Hence, Absalom's having relations with the concubines of his father, King David, and Adonijah's requesting his wife Abishag, David's nurse and companion in his old age, were equivalent to claims on the throne. 2 Sir 16. 21, 22. 1 Kai 2. 15-17, 22 These were treasonable acts. Aside from the king's personal estate, spoils of war, and gifts 1 Ch 18. 10. Other sources of revenue were developed. These included special taxation of the produce of the land for the royal table, tribute from subjugated kingdoms, toll on traveling merchants passing through the land, and commercial ventures, such as the trading fleets of Solomon. 1 Kai 4. 7, 27, 28. 9. 26-28. 10. 14, 15. Instability of Northern Kingdom. In the Northern Kingdom of Israel the principle of hereditary succession was otextoi acute miritra longo. Kingdom 158 non-Israelite kings were less accessible to their subjects than those who ruled God's people. The Israelite kings evidently mingled quite freely with their people. The Gentile kings were often very remote. To enter the inner court of the Persian king without express permission automatically made that one liable to death unless the king gave his specific approval by extending his scepter, as was done with Esther. As for 11, 16 The Roman emperor, however, was available for audience on the appeal of a Roman citizen from a decision made by a lower judge, but only after a process of going through many lower officials. Act 25. 11, 12. Kingdom. Basically, a royal government. Also the territory and peoples under the rule of a king or, less frequently, under a female monarch or queen. Often the kingship was hereditary. The sovereign ruler might bear other titles such as Pharaoh or Caesar. Kingdoms of ancient times, as today, had various symbols of royalty. There was generally a capital city or place of the king's residence, a royal court, a standing army though perhaps quite reduced in size in times of peace. The word kingdom, as used in the Bible, does not of itself reveal anything definite as to the governmental structure, the territorial extent, or the authority of the monarch. Kingdoms ranged in size and influence from the mighty world powers such as Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome, on down to small city kingdoms such as those in Canaan at the time of the Israelite conquest. Jos 12. 7-24 The governmental structure also might vary considerably from kingdom to kingdom. The first kingdom of human history, that of Nimrod, seems to have been initially a city kingdom, later extending its realm to include other cities, its space remaining at Babel. GE 10. 9-11 Salem, over which King Priest Melchizedek ruled in the first kingdom with divine approval, was also apparently a city kingdom. GE 14. 18-20. Compare Heb 7. 1-17. Larger kingdoms embraced an entire region, such as the kingdoms of Edom, Moab, and Ammon. The great empires, ruling vast areas, and having other kingdoms tributary to them, generally seem to have arisen or grown out of small city-states or tribal groups that eventually combined under a dominant leader. Such coalitions were sometimes of a temporary nature, often formed for war against a common foe. GE 14. 1-5. Jos 9. 1, 2. 10. 5 vassal kingdoms frequently enjoyed a considerable degree of autonomy, or self-rule, though subject to the will and demands of the suzerain power. 2 Chi 17. 3, 4. 2 Ch 36. 4, 10. Broad usage. In scriptural use, the term kingdom may refer to specific aspects of a royal government. It can refer to the realm or geographic area over which sovereignty is exercised,